Bryant-Denny Stadium, one of the largest stadiums in college football. What is your vision for the future for this facility?
Well, this already is one of the most historical venues in the country of any sport. How people consume athletics it's evolving though, and we have to pay attention to that. And we have 101,000 people that come to a game here on a game day, and we can certainly support 101,000. But what that looks like long term from the experience that you have, restrooms, concessions, ingress, egress, we're digesting a lot of that information now to look and say what are our priorities going to be for the next 10 years. And so we'll obviously work with our President Bell and our trustees and develop and see what we need to do to make sure we stay on the forefront of college football. I can say in my first year I made it to every section in the stadium at least one time during the game day throughout the season. And that gave me some really good feedback and understanding of where our strengths were and where maybe some of our challenges are that we have to try to address in the future.
When you walk down the Walk of Champions, we have each of the national championship blocks here. Now, as you count the 2017 all the way up at the stairs, you guys are running out of room. What is the plan here?
That's a good problem to have, isn't it?
It is a good problem to have.
So we've got a couple ideas that we have up our sleeve that we're working on to what does this look like for the future. The nice thing, we do have some green space here, but the green space is part of what makes this so special. And so whatever we do, we need to find that right balance. This is one of the most visited spaces in our state. And I think that's something as we look at what the future holds, let's continue to celebrate our history and hopefully celebrate new accomplishments in this same space. And so we'll look at what that looks like down the road as we're trying to plan everything else for Bryant-Denny Stadium and all of our other facilities.
This Coliseum now 50 years old. What kind of vision do you have for this building and plans moving forward?
Well, just like all of our other facilities, we have to continue to reinvest in our success and say what our next steps are. Sometimes they're just little minor projects, sometimes they're bigger ones. We don't have a secret pot of gold where all of a sudden you write a check and you build a $200 million facility. We have to have a model that works between fundraising, ticket sales, and and maybe some bonding that we say we can pull this off and make this thing work. And that's what we're trying to balance right now. But what we have found, without a doubt, the bones of Coleman are very good. The footprint is actually large, and that's something that we can use to our advantage. Obviously, right when you walk in, you actually walk into a pretty good concourse, a good space that a lot of places don't have. And so that's a strength for ours. But as soon as you get through this open concourse, you walk into a wall. And we have obviously the tunnels to go out to the seating area, but what could we do to create a much more open environment to where there's connectivity, even if somebody's at the concession stand, that they can still see what's going on with the ball game. And I think as you come in here into Coleman, there's a lot of good history here. We've had a lot of successful teams. This past year got back to the NCAA tournament. We need to make sure, and we've had a lot of good teams in the past, we need to make sure we say what are our steps for the future. And so as you can see here, from here to the top of the arena on the other side, you're a long ways from it. Mm-hmm. When you're down on the court, comparatively speaking to a lot of other places, you're a ways away from it. So what can we do if the remodel is where we end up going to make it more intimate and bring it closer to the action and where our fans can be more engaged the entire time that they're here?